Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of I've Got Questions. This is a podcast where curiosity just runs wild. Just, mm, mm, mm. The questions are just weird. And of course, the advice, completely unsolicited. But of course, you join me here because you know your girl is an expert at absolutely nothing. And even if you didn't ask me for the advice, you're gonna get it anyways, right? I know, I know. Let's get curious together and let's answer some questions. Welcome back. Glad you could join me. So, on this episode, I'm going to share a little secret with you guys. You have to promise me you won't tell anybody. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay? In this episode, I'm going to be talking about why I am so afraid of being alone. Better yet, why was I so scared of being alone? See, over the years, I would like to think myself be the bravest, most confidentest, everything is walking into a room. But the truth of the matter is, there was a time when I couldn't even sit with my own self. And I know, trust me when I tell you, I know. Fabulous as I am, out there as I am, couldn't sit with my own self. See, I remember, and yes, I will give you this advice. Therapy is for everybody. Take it as quickly as you can. Okay? Do what needs to be done. But I remember going to my therapist and he gave me an exercise and he said, I need you to sit down for 10 seconds in the quiet by yourself. And I will admit and said that has to be the most torturous experience I'd ever been through in my life. I grew up in a household full of people. There were always people around. And I don't know when it happened. I don't know when that shift came in where I felt like I had to be the on-call entertainment system for everybody. And keep in mind, I was never asked to. It just kind of happened. Like my grandmother at the time had 12 girls, 12 grandchildren, 12 girls, just going at it all the time. And not in a malicious word, no. More so in a we're always playing, we're always doing something outside, we're always, just doing something. Um and throughout my life I have found that I needed people around me to validate who I was as a person, that I was entertaining, that I was likable, that I was, you know, everything there needed to be and then some. And so even when I work from home, I needed the noise constantly going, that I would have to turn the television on the minute I wake up, turn the TV on, even if it's the news, something has to be playing in the background, something has to be going on, because I just couldn't sit with my own thoughts. That scared me. I'm talking, oh, you want a friend to go to Target? You want to go down the street and go for a walk for no good reason? And I would use those times just to fill a gap. And so I'm going through all of this and thinking to myself, why am I so scared of being alone with myself? And it took me going to therapy to really and truly break that ceiling and reach through it and get a grasp on what it is that was truly at the heart of the problem. And I came to realize through therapy that it was my own demons that were just haunting me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, my sin's not coming back to haunt me anytime soon. Fingers crossed. Okay, just say a word of prayer for me, all right? Because y'all know me and Jesus now. We're not on first name basis, so just keep your girl in your prayers, because mine goes to the spam box. You know what I mean? But no, I realized that I was so devoted to being everything for everybody else, even when they didn't ask. I had to be the entertainment, I had to always fill the room with noise. I had to be the voice all the time, even when no one asked. And when I was forced to no longer be in that situation, to just sit with my thoughts and my quietness, that was scary for me. I mean, everybody would say, oh, I talk to myself a little bit. I have to say, if talking to myself was a meeting, my calendar stay full all day, every day. My calendar is full because I'll be having conversations with me, myself, and I, the three of us, and then I take the minutes and repeat them back to us to make sure we're all on the same page before we go anywhere. Sounds a little, I won't share the meeting minutes with you guys because I feel like that's where it gets a little, you know what I'm saying, okay? So, but no, I went through and I sat down and I kept trying to do this exercise. And one day I just broke down in tears because it finally hit me that just sitting with my own thoughts meant I had to process those thoughts. Everything that came forward, everything I've been pushing aside, everything I've ignored, it was there. I just kept filling my head with everything else but my own situation. And I get it. It is scary to be alone. And keep in mind, I've been married now for 14, 15 years. Or 14 years. Is it 15 or 14 years? I got married in 2010. 11, 12, 13. Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry. Not the best time to count. You see my point. Been married for a long time. So I haven't been alone for pretty much any of my life. And yet, going through that exercise, sitting with my thoughts over and over and over again, I had never experienced more fear and freedom at the exact same time. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy. I know, sounds absolutely bananas, but it's true. I found myself transitioning from thinking about everybody else and what they're going through to thinking about myself and what I was going through and why I was so okay with repressing everything I had gone through instead of just processing them and dealing with them and finding solutions to them. So I sat, I listened, and at the start, like I said, absolutely hated it. Hated it. Just outright hated it. But as I sat with my thoughts, I realized something key came out. There was a version of me, and wait for it, I know you won't believe this, but there was a version of me in there that was even more fabulous than the version you know. Well, some of you know that version now because, a girl grows, she evolved, she matured. So you're lucky. You meet me when me decent. But it was it was scary to think all the time how much I'd repressed that side of me, how much I'd repressed that person. And I couldn't tell you why I repressed her. But thanks be to therapy. Thank you, sweet Baba Jesus. I was able to unleash that side of me. And as I leaned into who that woman is, it made me feel such a sense of fulfillment, such a connection to who I am, such a building a building block for me to be able to keep stepping on and going, you know what? You can do this. You don't have to be it for everybody else, especially if you can't be it for yourself. How are you able to advise other people when you can't sit alone and advise yourself? Process those thoughts, process those memories, think of the future. And like I said, I know it is the wildest thing to think 10 seconds is all it took to change my life. Now, 10 seconds then turned into 20 seconds, then turned into 1 minute. Like it wasn't just 10 seconds. Over a period of time, I had to keep sitting down myself. And you will be so proud of me to know I am working from home. I don't even turn the TV on sometimes. Now, that is a little tricky because you see what happened is when I had the TV on, I was able to keep track of time because I would have the 6 a.m. news, the 7 o'clock news, the 8 o'clock news. Then it would start the weird talk show thingies. And then I know that at 3 o'clock, Dr. Phil came on. And then at 4 o'clock, I started to see the other news come on. So it kind of kept me in track. But I digress. My point is, normally just wear a watch and keep track on okay, moving on. But you see my point. But I must say, I am so proud of myself. And I know you want to be proud of yourself too, as long as you don't share the meeting minutes from your internal conversation. Ain't nobody trying to hear all of what going on in your head. Some of y'all need Jesus. Pray for all of y'all. But it made me the person I am. And it really showcased who I can be if I just stepped out from behind the shadows of the persona I had created over the many years. So I hope that if you ever feel that alone, needing feeling, that you bust out of that. And if you are alone, it's not because you are alone, if you get what I'm saying. It's a choice. I enjoy watching a movie by myself as much as I enjoy watching it with other people. Not the people I'm not like to talk, just because I already feel that role. So we don't need two of us in there because then we never gonna understand the movie. Nobody gonna hear or learn anything. Sheesh. But I say that to say I've learned it's okay. I'm sure you will be okay too. All right? With that being said, it's time for No Stupid Questions. So, yeah, this week's No Stupid Question. Keep in mind, this is a segment where I answer the questions that you all are just too scared to ask. And I know you're thinking about it. You know, I know you know you're thinking about it. So, it's okay that you send them to me. I am happy to answer them for you. Asked and answered. Unsolicited advice. Hello. So, what am I answering this week? And I touched on this before, but you're going to have to be honest with me. If you talk to yourself, are you alone or just in a meeting? I, I feel like it's a mixture. I feel like it's a mixture because I talk to myself alone because I'm in a meeting with myself. Yes, I know. Sounds as crazy as it sounds. Listen, I get it. It sounds bad out of hell crazy. But the Virgo in me, I'm going to go with that. The Virgo in me knows that I already have the answer. And trust and believe. If I came to you, I already know the answer. Now, sometimes, I would like to hear what the other side thinks. Because as much as I like to think my opinion is always right and the way I do things are, we all know that's not the case. So ever so often, I venture to the other side to get feedback. Keep in mind, I already know the answer to what I'm thinking. However, I like to, you know, ask. And so when I do have my personal one-on-one meetings with my three personalities going on here, I do take the minutes, and from those minutes, I'd ask somebody else's opinion. So I think it's a mixture. I think I am both alone because I need to be alone to have that conversation, and you can call it a meeting. I think so. You can call it a meeting. Let's let's leave it at that. Because one thing I know, one thing is for sure, and two thing is for certain. I don't ever disagree with myself. Me, myself, and I, we always gonna agree with what we agree with. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that is no stupid questions. But keep sending them in. I love it. And I love that you guys share and connect with me in that way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, with that being said, again, I just want to, take this time to wrap up and say I've learned so much. I've learned funny things about myself being alone. I've learned my dislikes and my likes being alone. And it kind of makes it easier to adapt to being around other people because it reinforces who I am as a person. And if I already know what I don't like, and you know I'm less likely to follow along with the crowd because I know what I'm willing and not willing to do. And that has been probably the biggest life lessons I've ever learned. And I'll share with you because for the longest while, I thought I did not like sparkling water. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And then one day I had it. I had a nice wedge of lemon, squeezed it in, I drank it. And now, Lord gosh, that's all I drank. Okay? That and alcohol. But I still get my water intake. So, is it the same if I drink sparkling water or still water? Do I still get hydrated? Answer me that in the comments or email me at igotquestions-kt@yahoo.com, or you can check us out on TikTok at I Got Questions with a K, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of them. Remember, I Got Questions with a K. Don't choke. But anyways, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, we're now at the end of the show. And I just want to once again say to each and every one of you, remember that talking to yourself, it doesn't make you weird. It just makes you the CEO of your own life. Okay, tiny bit weird. But let's be honest. We all like weird and quirky, so meh, who cares? We all can't be, you know what I mean. But yeah, until next time, as always, stay curious. Bye.